You've been diagnosed for how long?
Well, actually, the first of the year, right around January 1st.
Yep.
It started out, I had 2 bleeding ulcers, and that's what was taking my red blood cells and making me weak and stuff like that. And that's why I was in. So they took care of those, and we thought that was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 weeks later, I felt real weak again, and we went back in. I went in for blood tests again, and it wasn't, my red blood cells were not where they should be yet, so they knew something else was going on. So that at that time, that's when I got recommended to go see Dr. Gunther at the cancer center. And at that time, I really accepted it already that I had it. It had to be. To me, I figured, if it wasn't the ulcers, it's nothing else. It's got to be some sort of cancer in your blood. It was a shock, obviously, when I first found out I had cancer. Even though I had expected it, it was still a shock when the doctor says, yes, you do have it. This is the procedure we're going to be doing on here. I was afraid it was leukemia.
Yep.
And I was very happy to hear that it wasn't. My multiple myeloma is in the red blood cells.
Yep.
My white blood cells are good. There's no problem with them at all. So I'm very happy with that. And I go to take cancer treatment every Monday at the Martha Seekman Center at AMC. The only bad part is chemo is hard on your white blood cells also.
Mm-hmm.
It takes that count down. So I have to counteract by taking a bunch of medication to keep the white blood cells up. That's the hard part, taking all this medication and having the faith that that is all going to work. You don't know. They tell you to take this pill, that pill. You got to do it. So you got to take so many pills to counteract this and counteract that, and there you have to have a lot of faith because
you got to trust your doctor.
You got to trust your doctor.
Yep.
And I do. I took that route that I'm not going to fight. What they tell me I should take, I'm going to take it. I'm going to follow them 100%. Mm-hmm. and go that route. Right now I must have 6 or 7 that I take, and I take 1 chemo pill every day, which is a very strong one, and the rest of them are all different ones to counteract nausea, whatever like that. People don't get as sick anymore. They don't get, the reaction isn't as bad as what it used to be. Yeah. Right, and I have not had that happen yet, and that's it's going to be coming when I get the high dose chemo when I go down to Milwaukee.
Then you'll be my bald friend.
Yes. Then I'll be losing all my hair and everything like that, and that's going to be a pretty traumatic time down there. But I got a lot of faith that I'll make it through it okay.
Yeah.
And actually, when I go down to Freighter I'll be going in August now, and I'll be there probably till the end of September. I don't stay in the hospital at all. We stay in a hotel now. They want to get us off the premises, and for a couple of reasons. Obviously, there's not as much sickness and stuff in a hotel, and a hotel is set up so that they sterilize the rooms that we're in. We're in special rooms that are not special rooms. They're the same rooms that anybody would go there and get, but they clean them every day. They sterilize them. They work with Freighter on them, and they found out that people recover a lot faster going to the hotels and staying there and getting out of the hospital rather than being in this hospital room for a month, which is not fun. But I'm glad. I really look forward to that. When they first told me that, I was floored.
That sounds awesome.
You mean I don't have to stay in a hospital for all that time?
Yeah.
And
that's what they mean.
That's good. I'm very good with that. And I like to share the story.
Yep.
I said it before, that's the best therapy I think anybody that's sick could do. Mm-hmm. You can't just sit and hide in a corner anymore in life. I started from the beginning to fight hard because I've talked to people that have cancer, and some of them are real shy about it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want nobody to know what type they have, what's going on with them or anything like that. Yeah. They're pretty scared. I took the other route and said, hey, I got it, let's fight it.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Nobody volunteers to have cancer, obviously. But when you do get it, you have to fight it as hard as you can, and whatever the outcome is, you have to be okay with it because it's going to happen. And I learn a lot by sitting in the cancer chair and talking to other people and finding out what type of cancer they have and what brought theirs on and stuff. And it's kind of funny because you sit there and talk. You don't you just know somebody. I just know this guy's name is Jim. You
Mhm.
know, I don't really know his last name. I don't know where he lives. I don't know if he's rich. I don't know if he's got a place up north or anything. We don't talk about that.
Right.
You talk about the cancer that we have and how we can fight it and what treatment he's getting, what I'm getting and stuff like that. And everybody's equal.
Right.
The majority of the people do not know what cancer is.
Okay.
Because if you don't have it, if you've never had it, you know what cancer is, obviously. But you think about it and you say, okay, so-and-so has cancer, yeah, I feel sorry for them and like that. But then you go on to think and and you forget about it, let's say. Where when you have cancer, you think about it 24/7.
Yeah.
You're always thinking about it and stuff like that.
Positive
And hopefully
thing.
the story that I tell can help somebody else in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I wrote it once that I know that that some of the people reading my updates within a period of a year, that somebody that they know, a friend,
Yeah.
relative, whatever, is going to have cancer or some type of other bad sickness or tragedy or stuff like that. So talk about it, to me, made a lot of sense. Made an awful lot of sense. At least everybody knows the correct things that are going on with me right now.
Mhm.
And stuff like that. And I give them my timetable and what's all happening and how I'm feeling and how it relates to my life. Talking about it is my way of fighting it, and that's why I wanted to keep working here yet, because I can interact with the people here.
Mhm.
And by the update that I write, it brings out my emotions.
Good.
And I think that's the best way to fight this on here. So I think that update was probably the best thing that ever came. I did not plan on it being what it is now, but your sickness relates to your religion, to your life. Everything comes together now. If they find something in me that maybe could help somebody else out in the future.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's why I'm being able to live right now, is because somebody years back had the same type of cancer and they learned how to cure it
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and are saving me now. So you always got to be open to the highs, that all the what really could happen, what they tell you are going to happen, but then you also have to remember that it could go the opposite way. So that's the high highs and the low lows, and again, we have to take what we have. We just have, and we have to fight it though.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that we just can't go hide in the corner. And of course, prayer, and when you get cancer, you probably get a little bit more intense.
You get a little more prey.
Yeah, prayer part of it, yes, you're more intense on that now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one thing on there, because it always means a lot. But right now, as you have cancer or any sickness, you feel that you need that little extra prayer, that you better just
Mm-hmm.
do it a little bit harder.
Yes.
and friends and family.
Hey.
And I've had so much help and so much help from other people that have said they'll come over and do this, do that. People bringing us food, friends bringing us, giving us gift cards and stuff like that as we go down to Milwaukee and stuff like that. They help us out that way.
Yep.
So, but actually, the friends and the family have been a good therapy again to help fight through this, and we can talk through it with people like that,
Right.
because they know now what's going on with me and stuff like that. Very supportive, been over a lot, we talk a lot, we sit and talk a lot and stuff like that about what's going on. The friends and family, that to me is the biggest help that a person can have in a situation like this.
I asked you to take a look at Romans 8:37, but rather in all things we are more than conquerors through the one who loved us. Would you go ahead and tell me what that verse means to you?
That verse, after reading it again, I get that that we are conquerors, that we can beat a lot of this, but we have to have the faith and trust in God that He is going to take care of us, and that His will is going to be our destiny.
Mm-hmm.
As such, and we have to be open and okay to that, to know that like I said before, it could go either way. I could live another 20 years, or I could pass on in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we need that faith, and that's where we have to fight it and be the conqueror. And believe that I believe our lives we're predestined, by God, of how we should be living and stuff like that. And what's going to happen to me is something that I can't change myself. So that's why I have to look into the faith of God that He's going to take care of me and stuff like that. And we know sometimes it doesn't always go our way that we want it to go.
Right.
But again, like I said before, I'm okay with what does come out of this in the end here. The prognosis is to live a long period of time yet, but the chance is always there that it could go the other way too.
Yeah.
Very easily like that. Sure, we all like to live forever, but we know that's not going to happen. I'm prepared for whatever will come.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I'm very comfortable with the thought that I might not live.
Okay.
If that happens, I'm not worried about it. I really think it's going to work out, talking to the doctors and everybody, that the treatments they're giving me are going to work, but as we all know, sometimes it doesn't work. But I'm comfortable either way with what happens on here. I've told Molly I'm 62 right now. I've had a good life. I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with the fact that if something does come out of it bad, that it prolongs over the year. And this treatment that they're giving me down there, the stem cell rescue, there's a possibility that could not work. And I was supposed to go and get this procedure done already in the end of May and into June. So it always got pushed off and stuff like that. So you get yourself all psyched up to do it, and then you get there, you get tested, and okay, this time the kidneys aren't right, the white blood cells aren't high enough, you can't do it now because it would ruin too many other things. It's too dangerous. The main thing is reading that verse and stuff like that. I'm willing and ready with whatever happens to me.
Yep.
Good or bad, and stuff. We expect good, but we keep the mind open for bad, because you can't get all your hopes too high, because they get shot down, and that really is a downer then. And that's probably the worst thing for a person. I think I'm less worried about this whole thing than most people are. Because I've accepted it already. That I have cancer and that there's a chance that I could die from it.
Yep.
Accepted that, Again, not expecting it, but accepting that could happen in my life. We all know, like we said before, we all know we're going to pass. We're going to die someday, and stuff like that. How we die is we don't know. I mean, it could be car accident, it could be disaster, it could be anything like that. So, I guess I just look at that as this is just God's way of testing me, for one thing. I think.
Okay.
Testing me and getting me to open up to talk to people about and stuff like this.